I think because they both need that fight. I think they're at the stage of their career, 10 years in. They need meaningful fights as well. Do you know what I mean? They're not at the start of their career when they're building up their records. They've been in the game a long time and they both need each other. So good luck to them. It's good for boxing as well.
And does that hopefully pave the way to you getting a fight with one of them later on in the future?
I think regardless, we're always going to have to fight. We're going to fight regardless because same weight category, we're in the same era, and it's the fight that people want to see. So yeah, we're going to fight each other. But it's interesting because, let's say, worse happens with Povetkin. It don't stop me from having to fight them anyway. They'll still want to fight me because we're big in the game, you know. So that fight will happen regardless of who wins.
I'm glad that he's, if you notice, he's been kind of off of the radar a little bit, you know, training for Povetkin, not too many media interviews and everything. But nonetheless, man, listen, it's September the 5th right now. Joshua versus Povetkin is less than 3 weeks away. Wilder versus Fury, the word on the curb is they're going to be doing something next week in Vegas, you know, to capitalize off of the Canelo versus Golovkin hype that's going to be in Vegas. Remember, Wilder versus Fury is supposed to be happening in Vegas. Many people still don't want to believe that the fight is happening. You have, you know, the Matchroom side of fans and media thinking that, or saying that Fury's going to pull out with an injury or whatever. If you don't know, Showtime and PBC and PBC and Fox have reached a crazy, outrageous, massive deal that rivals the deal of is actually, whether you want to believe it or not or like it or not, it's bigger than the Hearn the DAZN deal. And I'm just waiting to see what they're going to be doing because, you know, I want to see what you know, the website's going to look like, what the content's going to look like. So you have to think that they're going to have some exclusive Anthony Joshua content to, you know, launch the DAZN, maybe some type of documentary on his camp or whatever. But they're supposed to be launching, you know, on September the 21st their first fight is supposed to be on September the 21st for Bellator. So I'm guessing maybe they're going to launch the week before this or so. You know, Friday, Bellator, then Saturday to September the 22nd. The DAZN, for those who don't know, it's going to be $9.99 a month. The first month is going to be free, so it's meaning that the Joshua versus Povetkin fight is going to be free. And here's their lineup right here so far with Billy Joe Saunders versus Andre, Jesse Vargas versus Delorme. We've done videos on all of those cards, but now, you know, we're just waiting for this to be officially announced. Now, me personally, I believe that the fight is happening. You know, I'm confident that the fight is happening. For example, if the fight doesn't happen, then guess what? Both of these guys are going to be motherfucking laughing stocks, and people are going to be looking like, we told you that shit, you know, was going to fall through. So for a fight this big, they you know, a lot of things have got to be, you know, like ironed out. For example, remember Mayweather versus McGregor was announced with no venue. This is not something new. It's just that they wanted to make sure people know that, yeah, this shit is happening. Get hype for it. People say, you know, they shouldn't have announced it, you know, until there was a venue and everything like that. Remember, this is not even new for Anthony Joshua. I forgot what fight it was, but he's announced that he was going to be fighting before tickets and all that shit went on sale. So, you know, that's just people, you know, being petty about the issue. No matter what, Anthony Joshua is right. If you go back and watch this Sky Sports interview, is that the heavyweight division is the best it's been in our generation. You know, it was dormant. Now with the guys, with the names and, you know, the help of the social media generation, do I have to go through the names of, you know, of course, Anthony Joshua, you know, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Dylan White, Kubrat Pulev, Huey Fury, Joe Big Baby Miller, Tomas Adamek still in the mix, Manuel Char, WBA champion. He's fighting Fresno Quendo, September the 29th. You know, Derek Chisora, Brian Jennings, Joseph Parker. You know, and the list goes on. Then, you know, when Usyk moves up to heavyweight, you know, whatever happens between him and Dennis Lebedev and Tony Bellew, whatever going on with that situation. So right now, Anthony Joshua is at the top of the hill. He's the king of the hill. Everybody wants him. So every single fight is make or break for him now. This is not a soft bullshit heavyweight division. And I didn't mention Luis Ortiz. This is not a soft bullshit heavyweight division. From now on, he's got 3 belts. This is not like he has one and he can bullshit around. Those mandatories are coming. You know, and Wilder versus him or Fury versus him, I don't see that happening in 2019. If it is late 2019, but I'm seeing more 2020. Wilder and his side are done with that. They're like, listen, we already got some shit lined up over here, especially with Wilder's side with that new PBC, Fox and Showtime deal. You know, they can do a big super PBC on Fox, some shit like that. Wilder versus Ortiz again, that'll still be a big fight. You know, outside of that, yeah, you know, Wilder's got the Dominic Brazil thing that's gotta happen. You know, if he beats Tyson Fury. But nonetheless, right now, the buzz is on Wilder versus Fury. You haven't heard about, you know, Joshua versus Povetkin being sold out. Yeah, you know, it's going to be a really big fight. I think it's the biggest fight of Joshua's career at this point in time, because if he loses, it all comes crumbling down. You know, Joseph Parker was a huge fight. It was the fight where he won a legitimate championship that wasn't that WBA and wasn't that IBF from Charles Martin, but I'm talking about an up and coming, you know, young, you know, contender just like himself in Joseph Parker. I rate that win above Klitschko. I rate that win above Charles Martin. And truth be told, if he beats Povetkin, I'm gonna be like, oh shit, you know, Povetkin ain't no joke. Look, my mom, man, he either got no cut. He know what the deal is. He ain't been on social media, none of that shit like that. You know, little clips here and there. He taking this shit serious. You know, so I know people, you know, think that you know, I'm an Anthony Joshua and Matchroom hater and all that. Listen, I call this shit like a seed. I've been doing this shit for years, bro. So whatever happens with Anthony Joshua or any of these fighters, whether it's Wilder, Tyson Fury, if they get knocked the fuck out, I'm still gonna be here doing videos. But the thing is, you got to give props where props due. I'm looking at him. He's looking a little bit leaner than he's usually been looking. I mean, obviously for the Tockham and for the Parker fight, you know, he's gotten leaner. But now he's looking like he's really focusing on, you know, being able to extend, you know, and fight 12-round fights consistently. These motherfuckers not fucking around with him. You know, he is the money. You know, they chasing the bag. He's the bag. We're going to see, though, you know, waiting for the DAZN to launch, even though I can't stand that name, the DAZN, but it's spelled D-A-Z. What are they thinking? But, hey, you know, whatever. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. Please subscribe.